So this is Remove It Pro's Demolition, and this is an example of how to take a hurricane window out. So what you're seeing here is us taking a window out. When you're doing this repurposing of hurricane windows and things like that, your man hours affect what you make in a big way. It can make or break whether or not you can do this or not. If you notice here, this is the expedient method to take these windows out of a building. Now these buildings are being torn down, so we can damage them any way we want. What happens here, those screws that are there, they're tough, they're tempered. If we try to take them out, a lot of times the screw heads get stripped. It's pretty frequent. Probably if you take 10 of them out, you're going to strip 1 or 2. So what we've learned how to do is take and just bust the concrete out. You see all the screws sticking down? So that's exactly what we're doing here. And taking a window out, it takes it from being a 2 or 3 hour process to get one window out undamaged to being able to do it in, 20 to 30 minutes. You see how he's just chipping all that stuff apart. Then what they'll do when they get the window pretty much loosened up, they'll grab it with some suction cups just to make sure they can hold on to it. It's pretty heavy. Those windows are hurricane windows. They're rated for 150 mile per hour winds. They're designed to take a 2x4 coming at them at 150 miles per hour and stop the 2x4. The expedient methods we've learned after doing this for a long time. So this particular building, we took 100 windows out. Still took us about 3 weeks to get them all out. The first window always takes an hour or a little bit longer than that because we really don't know what we're getting into. And then once we figure out how to get the first window out, then we know how they were put in on this particular building. And then what we do, we just duplicate the process and keep doing the same thing for each and every one. These guys have only been doing this for a couple of weeks. They've gotten pretty good at it. That is a 35-pound demolition hammer made by Bosch. We've tried all kinds of different demolition hammers over the years. We've used the DeWalt ones, the Makita ones, the Hilti ones, and we have determined that we like these Bosch hammers. We like the warranty that they have on them, and they hold up pretty good. Biggest problem we have with these hammers is people pulling on the cords, and every now and then people pry with them. When you pry with the hammers are plastic inside, and what happens is if you pry with them, you break the little cogs inside. So if you let the hammer do the work as a hammer, it works out really good. It's not designed to be a crowbar. These are called buck boards. The boards that go around the windows, when you connect the boards, they call them buck boards. So they're freeing up them screws, and the screws that they can pull out, they're pulling them out so that they don't get scratched, putting them in the truck. It makes things a lot easier if you go ahead and pull them out. Okay, so now he's taking a Sawzall and he's going down and he's cutting some of the screws. In this situation, he's learned how to cut these things pretty quick. The tempered screws can be very difficult to cut. A lot of times what will happen is they'll spin back and forth when you're cutting them, and they won't cut very easily. If you're taking out hurricane windows, a lot of guys will want to take them apart for whatever reason. I don't understand it. Normally anything you take apart, you got to put back together, so it's not a really good idea. Many times once they take them apart, there's little plastic clips and stuff that are connecting the windows. What happens is you can't get them back together. These windows right here will ask like $400 or $500 for them, and they sell pretty good. Those little round things they put on there, those are suction cups. This cost about 80 bucks a piece, and what they do is they just help these guys. It makes it easier to control the window. These windows are very durable. Now they're going to just pull the window in on both sides, get the buckboard freed up, and they'll just take the window out. So when Hurricane Ian came through and damaged this building to the point where it has to be torn down, some of these windows, hurricane was so powerful and with the water that it literally busted through those windows on the first floor of this building. So again, he's going back through here. He's freeing up the buckboard from the screws. Inevitably, there's always one more screw. It just seems to be the way it works. Taking a window like this out, sometimes they can do 20 of them in a day. Sometimes they only get 10, but you're talking about $400 to $500 a window. So times 10 is, $5 grand. so it can be very profitable. One of my friends just had a bid on a 6x3 window from a window company, and it's hard to buy the windows directly. $3,000 to take the window out and to put the window back in. So basically this took him about probably 25 minutes total. So just showing the expedient method on how to take a hurricane window or really any window out of a building that you're tearing down. So you can do it fast enough that it makes sense and you can end up making a profit. So it's Remove It Pros Demolition, and I'll see you on the next video.